What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 1 of my Liverpool FC playthrough here in Football Manager 2018. And well, it's a brand new Football Manager, it's a new year, and to kick off the Let's Plays here on my channel, we're taking over my club, Liverpool FC. I'm really excited to get into this. Of course, we did this 2 years ago, but since then, a lot's changed here at Liverpool. Expectations are different. Of course, Champions League football for this year is going to be a big factor. We're predicted to finish 5th. Jurgen Klopp, he's out. We've booted him. And, we've taken the reins. And, well, hopefully we're going to be able to have some reasonable success with the players at our disposal. As you can see here, a very good team. Of course, a side that I'm very familiar with. I have a rough idea of how I want to play here. But, of course, there's a pre-season to get through. I'm going to be able to weigh up my options. If we just look here, you can see that financially we have money to blow. £75 million transfer budget. We have £161,000 wage budget as well, so plenty of options to bring in players. In terms of where I'm looking to strengthen the squad going into this first season, I think a centre-back's going to be important. I'd quite like to get another centre midfielder. I think getting Emre Can's contract extended is going to be key. And I'm not overly convinced by the attacking options that we have. So that might be another area that we look into. But anyway, we have got just over a month until the first game of the season. I'm going to go and plot my future. Hopefully you guys stick around. And well, as you can see here, there are expectations to play nice football. The board want Champions League football. Let's try and build a Champions League side. So here we are, folks. It's the end of pre-season. It begins now. We are at home to Newcastle United, and well, we've been busy. We've done a fair bit, on and off the pitch in terms of kind of new additions. First new additions were actually promotions from the youth team. We brought in Ben Woodburn from the under-23s. Fantastic player, loads of potential. We actually have him being tutored by Coutinho as well, which I'm hoping is going to benefit his development. And the other player that we actually promoted from our youth team, Trent Arnold, of course, TAA, a very good player. A really talented right-back, even at 18, a player who probably is ready to play first-team football for us. And much like Ben Woodburn, we've got him being tutored by Jordan Henderson, of course, hoping that some of that determination can run off. Anyway, other little bits of news within the squad itself. Emre Can signed a new contract. Pretty happy about that. He wanted a fair bit of money. We've given him a fair bit of money. But he wasn't the only bit of action that we did. Of course, we had transfers to do. And well, as you can see here, our transfer budget has been significantly depleted. We still have a little bit to flex around with, but I don't think we're going to be doing a whole lot with it. We did sign Amico here, who's a very good youngster who you can sign as a kind of free transfer with, I think, £1.5 million compensation. Probably my go-to player at the moment in terms of best young players to sign if you can in Football Manager. A very talented player, but well, let's talk about the first team signings, the big signings. And well, we'll start with the outs. You can see Markovic here, gone to AS Monaco for £15 million. He's an okay player, but I was going to struggle to find a spot for him in my first team. Never been overly convinced by him in a Liverpool shirt, so we decided to let him go for some nice money. A few loanees going out, including Rico Henry, who I will talk about because we did sign him from Brentford. But the only other real departure of note, Danny Ings going to Brighton. You can see £12 million. The fee, however, may rise to £19.5 million on the basis that Brighton stay up. So Brighton, you are going to be a team that we are cheering on this year to hopefully avoid relegation, because then you do have to pay us £7.5 million. Anyway, on the Ings, you can see we actually managed to get a lot of our business done within the first 2 weeks or so of our time here at Liverpool, which I think was key, really to get a solid team together, to gel them and to get them ready for the start of the season. So the first player that we signed, Rico Henry, a young left-back, loads of potential, really talented English player. He has now gone back on loan to Brentford to the end of the season, but for £5 million. I think he's an absolute steal, and hopefully he can provide kind of in the next kind of few years, really, some nice strength in depth in the left-back area. Because for Liverpool, it is, and always has been, at least in the last few years, an area of concern. Anyway, the first of the big real additions was this guy, Mchale Seri. Of course, the Ivorian signed, as you can see here, from Nice. £16.5 million pay, as you can see here, last year. 7 goals in 34 games. A very talented centre midfielder. Very good going forward. A little bit of a lack of ability in the air, but generally speaking, this guy is just a really good box-to-box midfielder. Actually fills a similar niche, I guess, to Naby Keita, who, of course, will be joining us. at the end of this, our first season in charge. And when you compare the two, you can see Naby Keita probably is just a marginally better player, but I'd be interested to see if maybe we could get these two players playing alongside each other successfully in a system going forward. The next player we brought in, Stefan Devry, brought him in from Lazio, 1 year left on his contract. Very talented player, obviously, centre-back position for Liverpool, a well-documented problem area. At least initially, I'm thinking Devray is going to play alongside Matip. But we'll see how things go. A very good centre-back, though, this guy. You can see good passing and vision as well, which is going to be important in the system that we're going to be playing. Other players we brought in, Kasper Dolberg, we brought in from Ajax, the Danish international, 19 years old. Really talented striker. Quite a flexible player, very good complete player. Hopefully we can develop him in the right areas and he can become a very solid striking option for us. You can see with these fees paid, there's a lot of optional fees included. These are mostly for winning the Premier League and the Champions League. So they are very much, if we play very well as a club, obviously we'll have that money to then pay for these bonuses. But it allowed me to shave just a little bit off the transfer fees being paid, which gave me just a little bit more room to manoeuvre. You'll notice this with Dolberg here. His fee could reach £37.5 million. A lot of that is performance-based. So if he plays a lot of games for us and we win the league in the same season, I think it's like 30 games and we win the league, we have to pay out a bonus if he plays or scores 50 league goals for us, for example. So if he hits those fees, he's probably worth the £37.5 million. But it alleviates a little bit of the risk that perhaps we would have exposed ourselves to if we'd kind of bowed, I guess, to Ajax's initial demands when it came to money. Anyway, another player we signed from Ajax, De Ligt here, very good player, 18 years old, Dutch international, only just turned 18. In fact, it's his birthday today, so happy birthday to him. He's going to be on the bench for us, but a very good centre-back, 18 years old, loads of room to grow. And I was relatively happy to get that deal over the line for £20.5 million potentially. Anyway, the last player we signed, this guy, Cardinale, another player we just signed on a real cheap deal from Roma, £500,000. He's a good goalkeeper, good determination, one for the future perhaps. So anyway, that's kind of our general team news, but that really doesn't tell you half of what's been going on over the pre-season because we've been fending off Barcelona and Real Madrid, and it's not been for Coutinho. It's been for Sadio Mane, who as you can see is wanted by Real Madrid, and Firmino, who's wanted by Barcelona and Real Madrid. So that's an ongoing saga, yet to have a bid for either of them. I've set the asking prices at £80 million. Realistically, I don't think I'd want to sell either of these players. I just don't think that I could reinvest that money to improve the squad, which is kind of what you have to look at, I guess, when selling these kind of players. I feel like they're irreplaceable, at least in our first season, and so I'm determined to keep hold of them. Other bits of news you may notice in our starting 11, there is no Coutinho. He's out with an injury. He's got a knee ligament problem, out for between 5 days and 2 weeks. That injury could be a major problem, and we will talk about why in just a second. Lovren is also out for, well, he was out for 3 months. He's broken his foot. Not ideal at all. And Mohamed Salah also out for just over a week. So a few injuries to potential first-team players to bear with here. And actually, Salah, he's had a fair few struggles with injuries, as you can see here. 3 injuries so far in the first month and a half in charge, which is certainly less than ideal. And well, the reason I mentioned that Coutinho injury being less than ideal is because that we are not far away from the Champions League playoff games, which will be coming your way next episode as a double header. As you can see in those games, we are going to be taking on Hoffenheim. But anyway, let's shift our focus to here and now. We are going to be taking on Newcastle. The system that we're going to be playing is a 4-3-3 with inside forwards. It's a very attacking system. I want to play a high pressure game. As you can see, we've got Seri playing as the Mchale on attack, a brand new role in Football Manager this year. And as you can see, just down below, the modern interpretation of a Mchale is a central player who likes to drift wide and operate in half spaces. He's a half central winger who likes to do his defending slightly higher up the field, and he has less defensive responsibility. And he's really going to look to press here and kind of focus this area of the park. Really, if teams are playing with deep line playmakers that hold on to the ball and are playing in that defensive midfielder slot, we're looking at Seri or whoever is playing the Mchale role to really hunt them down. Elsewhere, the team's not got a whole lot going on just yet. It's a fluid system. I want us to press high. I want us to play expansive, expressive, attacking football. It's kind of trying to play nice football. If it completely backfires, I have got backup options, which I will talk about, I'm sure, in a future episode. But a 4-2-3-1 and a 3-5-2 based off a Danish system from the 1970s. Yes, I did mention in my kind of comeback video that I have been reading Inverting the Pyramid and, well, Colour Me inspired. Whether or not we see that 3-5-2, at any point, well, remains to be seen. But we'll talk about it in a not-so-distant episode, I'm sure. But anyway, this is the team we're going to go with. It's going to be Simon Mignolet in goal, Moreno, Devry, Matip and Joe Gomez across the back. Of course, the right back position, a bit of an issue with Klein out injured for, well, at least the next few months. Alexander Arnold, of course, the backup option there. The midfield trio with the injury to Coutinho, who I would probably be playing as the Mchale. We're going to go with Seri, Emre Can and Jordan Henderson. Out wide on the left with Salah injured, we have Oxlade-Chamberlain, Sadio Mane out on the right, Firmino up top on the bench. We've got De Ligt, who could potentially make his debut, Kasper Dolberg as well, an attacking option who, I don't know, maybe we could look for him to get a goal on his debut if we are struggling here. But realistically, at home against Newcastle United, we want to be winning this. You can see they're going to play a 4-5-1, very defensive system. Going to be a little bit annoying and perhaps a little difficult to break down, but we're going to do our best. Our team here looking very formidable indeed. Of course, the brand new Football Manager kind of look with the pre-game experience really does give a breath of fresh air. I absolutely love being able to see the two lineups side by side. Anyway, trying to get a good response out of my players, but I have noticed so far in FM18 that players just don't seem to respond as much to team talks when you're new. And, well, hopefully we can do well here. As you can see here, they are without John Joe Shelvey, who is going to be a big miss for them. But we have our own injuries. Salah and Coutinho out. You'd have to say two players who are absolutely kind of key to, I guess, us breaking down opposition teams. Salah with his pace, Coutinho with his creativity. I feel like Oxlade-Chamberlain, he's good. He's not quite Salah good. And, well, hopefully, regardless, we can get a win here. I don't want to get excuses out before we've started. This is going to set the tone for the Football Manager this year for me. Can we get off to a flyer? Can we beat Newcastle? That's the big question. You'd have to say off the face of these opening stats, it's not looking great for us. And actually, Matt Ritchie here to whip in the ball. Reyes heads it over, of course, former Arsenal man. I will say now, at least to start the year and this save especially, I am going to be using 3D. I feel like with the new graphics engine, it is some improvements on Football Manager. And I feel like it's something that we've got to get used to. We've got to give it a chance. And actually, I think the 3D this year looks pretty nice. Obviously, I used it for replays in the past. I know a lot of you guys use 3D. I'd been interested to know down in the comments, are you hashtag Team 3D or hashtag Team 2D? Let me know. Which are you? I used to be a dots man. I feel like I might have been converted. I'm looking at these stats. This is not a good start to the season so far for us in terms of performances. Lots of their kind of play coming against Joe Gomez actually at right back. They seem to be getting the better of us there. I could drop Mane deeper as a winger just to offer a bit more support and then drop Joe Gomez to fullback on support. That might be an option. In fact, I think that's probably what I'm going to do here. Just get a little bit more protection. I'm still going to play Mane as a winger on attack rather than an inside forward. In fact, we could play him on inverted winger now I think about it. We'll stick with this for now. We'll see how we get on. Paul Dummer at left back for them has got injured. So that might be an opportunity there for Mane now to have a go at Mchale, who's going to come into the side. But, well, you'd have to say at half-time, this has been anything but a classic. Although, maybe I'm speaking too soon. Seri whips in the ball. Firmino smashes it over the crossbar. We are on key highlights. A poor chance squandered there by Bobby. You thought he might score. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. And you can see, looking at this first half, it's been pretty even. We've struggled for possession in the opposition half. Reyes has won back possession more than anyone else on his team. He is playing left mid, so he's winning that battle against Mane. He's also lost the possession more. Basically, all the plays down one wing right now. I don't know if the analysis is going to reflect that. It certainly does. So much of this play coming down the right-hand side. I'm actually telling the team to exploit the middle, but for some reason, we're hell-bent on pushing it down the right area of the pitch. With that in mind, is there a way I want to change things here? I think we'll play Mane just slightly higher up on winger support now I think about it, just to have a go at Mchale, who's been brought in obviously to play that left-back area. I've switched Joe Gomez here to full-back spot. I'm going to keep him on that, but of course, they are playing a very defensive system, Newcastle. But anyway, I'm going to tell the players I'm far from pleased with what I've just seen. We need a better performance in the second half. Oxlade-Chamberlain, please step up. Please step up to the plate. We've got options on the bench. Of course, Dolberg, who we have brought in. I'm sure I'm butchering that pronunciation, but we've brought him in for £17 million. He's a player we can maybe look for goals Hopefully that price tag isn't going to weigh too much on him. Although Mane here cutting inside, and the tactical change at half-time, just bringing him back forward to take on Mchale, has paid dividends. 26 seconds in, with my voice ringing in their ears from that team talk. We get a nice goal here. Bobby, nice hold-up play. Lovely little flick pass with the outside of the foot. Mane cutting inside, tucks it away. And we take a lead. We start off, well, with the first goal for the club. I feel like when you score before you concede, that's a good sign in any FM save. If you can start off with like a goal rather than having to fight back in your first game from behind. Joe Gomez on a booking's a little bit concerning. We have got Alexander Arnold. Oh, ball whipped in. For a second I thought Seri might get there. Moreno might still be able to make something happen. To Mchale at the edge of the box. Moreno can't beat Mbemba. We could be a little bit exposed here because Moreno caught out of position. Devry, nice tackle by him, of course, playing his debut today. But, well, Newcastle still bringing the ball forward. Reyes here, runs down the left, whips it in. Mchale, not convincing goalkeeping, my friend. I was hoping for a little bit better than that from him today. But Reyes here, crosses in the ball. Seri boots it clear. No nonsense by him. And, well, so far, okay, I guess. It's not been that great. Second half, fantastic start, to be honest. Statistically, we're in control of this game. And, well, maybe we can break here from a corner. Mane beats one man, cutting inside. Can he finish this? He smashes it over the crossbar. I got excited. For a second, I thought it was going to happen. He took on two men. Fantastic run. Unfortunately, the finish was lacking. But, well, we're on the attack again here. Mane might be through once more. Beats his man. Can he pull it back? He can't. Darlow, in the end, puts it out for a corner. But, well, Mane is proving to be an absolute monster down this right-hand side. Mchale, I feel like he wishes he could go back and sit on the bench because he's come on for Dummett, who got injured. And since that change, Mane's just been unleashed. But, well, we've got Diarme to think about here. Moreno, what a tackle that is. Possession's been very close. Shots, we've had a lot of them, but not so many on target, which is somewhat of a concern. Look at the performances. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain not had a great performance here. I'm going to drop Bobby Firmino into attacking kind of inside forward on the left, of course, kitting in on his right foot. We're going to bring in Doiberg. I'm going to make one more change as well. I mean, I was thinking about taking off Gomez on a booking, but actually he's not playing that badly. I think we'll bring in Wijnaldum for Emre Can, who's not had the greatest of games. And in fact, Wijnaldum's a little bit better at Mchale than he is box-to-box, whereas Seri is pretty good at either. So Seri going to switch to box-to-box. Wijnaldum coming on to play that slightly kind of higher energy role as the Mchale for us. Against his former club, of course. Perhaps a point to prove there. But, well, we're in the lead, but it's a slender lead. And it's a lead that we want to try and build on here with 20 minutes left. Reyes with the ball once more. Of course, Joe Gomez, he's got to be careful. He is on a booking. Why do I feel like he's just about to get sent off every time Reyes has the ball? Matt Ritchie here. Moreno wins it. Of course, Firmino now playing out on the left. Inside to Seri. New kid on the block. Can he hold up the play? He can. Back to Devry. Good to see a few of our new signings linking up. And while Doiberg on off the bench. Can he make something happen, Dolberg? That's going to be the question. Mane, he's got Dolberg in the centre. Ball whipped in. He's there. He leaps like a salmon. He can't sting like a bee. He's headed it over. And, well, it should have been two, shouldn't it, really? That's a poor header in the end. But unfortunately, it does go over the crossbar. I'm still a little bit scared for Gomez. So we're going to bring in Alexander Arnold, of course. A very young player. A player who, though, I expect to see get a fair bit of first-team football, this lad. He's just such a young player for us. But a player with a real future ahead of us in the first team, the right-back. And he can play centre-back as well. Sorry, not centre-back, centre-mid as well. So we might even end up playing him there a few times as kind of a deep-line playmaker. But anyway, we're on the attack here. That was a late tackle, but the ref plays a good advantage. Moreno whips it in. Mane keeps it in. It's deflected off Kieran Clark. The attempted pullback by Mane. And, well, rather embarrassingly, it's gone in. But we're not going to complain one little bit. It's a second goal for us. Nice build-up play here. Good advantage by the ref. The referee deserves some plaudits. And while Moreno whips it in, Mane, he's looking to pull it back to Dolberg at the edge of the 6-yard box. And Kieran Clark, who's trying to make amends and get back into position, just bundles it into his own net. But, well, 2-0 up. We are looking good here with 5 minutes left of this game. It's been an interesting game. In the first half, we were poor. We were off the pace. We've definitely stepped it up in the second half. Not entirely convinced, if I'm honest, by the performance here. But we are going to run out winners. Mchale, not had the greatest of games. Seri, on his debut, not a bad debut for him. In fact, you'd have to say, no one really stood out in our team. Man of the match, I think it went to Mane in the end. It did indeed. An 8.4 for him. going to tell the players I'm happy with that. You know, I want to start things off with an overall kind of fairly positive atmosphere in the changing rooms. And, well, generally speaking, that was exactly what we needed. A clean sheet, our first victory, the Football Manager achievements are popping up in the bottom right. It's all coming up Millhouse. And, yeah, Devry, of course, making his debut. So was Seri. But all in all, just a great way to kick things off. But anyway, guys, hopefully you did enjoy this first episode here of the Liverpool FC Let's Play. What did you make of the 3D camera? Are you team 3D or 2D? Let me know down in the comments. And yeah, that's going to wrap things up from me. Next episode, it is going to be a big episode for us. 2 games against Hoffenheim in the Champions League. It's going to decide whether or not we go into the Champions League group stage or the Europa League. So yeah, hopefully you guys stick around for that. If you've enjoyed this video, of course, leave a like. Get your comments down below. Subscribe if you're new. And other than that, it is me, Jack. And I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.